Hello everybody, this is Rebecca Jane from yogawithrebeccajane.com. Welcome to this 30-minute practice. So today we continue with our theme on being present, cultivating presence, with some stretches. We'll be concentrating on stretching the outer hips, the IT band, that's the fibrous tissue or the band of tissue that runs from the outer hip all the way to the outer knee, and it kind of has a wrap around the knee. So when that's really tight, or sometimes you can suffer from pain in that on the IT band, it affects a lot. Obviously the hips, your movement of your legs, your knees. So we're going to do some stretching of that. It's good for everybody, whether you cycle, whether you run. Really good for runners, really good for cyclists, but also people just walking, doing a lot of walking. So a strap for the first part of the class as we lay on our backs. So let's come down. And let's just take this moment on our backs. Just place the strap next to you, close the eyes, knees are bent. And let's start to connect with the breath. So presence in passive poses or sometimes can be harder for some of us, because our mind starts to go off in all these different directions. But that's where the breath, thank God for the breathing, that comes in to help to bring you right into the moment. So I want to take this first few moments to breathe in through the nose. And exhale, there's a slight drawing in of the tummy as you exhale. Take another 3 breaths here. Patience, just like we talked about yesterday, patience. Be patient. I had to say that multiple times yesterday. So let's just gently open our eyes and grab hold of your strap. And if you don't own a strap, you could grab a towel or something. And from here, keep your left leg where it is, bent. Just take hold of place the strap on the ball mound of your right foot. Make sure it's the ball mound, not the arch. Keep your left foot where it is. We will extend it in a moment. If you have this need to extend, don't do it yet. So from here, take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, gently start to straighten that right leg. Heel reaches up as toes draw down. Soften the shoulders and breathe into this stretch. If your leg is not straight, then you move the leg, adjust it until finally you can straighten it. That might mean yours has to go a little bit lower or towards the front of the mat rather than towards your face. And once you've found that straight leg, take a deep breath in and use that strap to pull the toes downward as the heel lifts up. And breathing deeply here, inhaling and exhaling. Holding a little bit longer today so we can actually get the stretch, fully experience it. And then from here, that left leg, just extend it as if you're standing on it. So make sure the heel of that left foot is digging into the ground. The foot is flexed. You're that's an active leg. One more deep breath in, pressing into that strap. And now take both straps in the left hand and take your right thumb, place it and dig it into that, into that right hip, the right where the crease is of that right hip. And take your right leg and bring it over about 30 degrees. So not all the way. Nothing, your bottom hip will not move. So just a little bit. And we're going to pause here. We'll do a second stage of this in a moment where we bring it completely over. But for right now, I want you to take a deep breath in and just take your thumb and push that hip forward. You might be feeling some sensations here. I am. And then from here, take the leg all the way over to the left until finally either it touches the ground or you place it on a block or it hovers off. And that right hand, just keep it on your right hip. So you're all the way over, crossing over. You're on your left side. And take your right thumb again and press it into the crease of that right hip. And gently wedge it in there and push that hip down. You could feel all of a sudden the right side of your body, how it stretches. Oh, breathing deeply. Inhaling and exhaling. And then gently lift that right leg back up. Oh. And place both feet, take the strap off the right foot, just place both feet flat on the ground again. With the knees pointing up. I want you to notice the difference between the legs. It's almost, for me anyway, it's so dramatic, the difference. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. And now strap up your left foot. So yes, my right leg feels like it's 10 pounds less weight. It's lost 10 pounds. Right foot flat on the ground, knees pointing up to start. Strap up your ball mount of that left foot. That's the key, it's not the arch. Take a strap in each hand. Take a deep breath in and gently straighten your left leg. Keep it nice. Once it's straight, draw the toes down to the shins, heel up towards the ceiling. Soften the shoulders, chin is slightly tucked. Think about that tennis ball between the chin and chest. Breathing in. And then as you breathe out, bring the toes slightly lower again. And then take your right leg extended all the way until finally the heel touches down. Dig that heel into the ground as if you're standing on it. So it is active. Breathing in. And breathing out. Draw those toes again. Now take both straps in the right hand. Take your left thumb now in that left hip crease. We're going to be doing quite a lot of this hip crease stuff today. Take an inhale and exhale. Just bring that left leg over about 30 degrees, not too far, to the right. And when you pause and hold, take that thumb and wedge it in and push it a little bit more. Breathing deeply. Don't forget that right leg. It's still doing its thing. And now keep that left hand on your left hip. Just gently open that left hip out to that left foot out to the right. Keep going, keep going, keep going until finally it touches down on a block, on the ground. And take your left thumb again. Place it into your left, crease and push it downward. And you're doing a little twist here. So you're looking up towards, as if you're trying to do a spinal twist, but you're not quite doing it. Breathing deeply. So you could feel that the wedging actually helps stretch out these IT bands, the outer hips. And then gently lift your left leg back up. Take the strap away. Place your feet flat on the ground. Take a moment here. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. And then from here, take your right leg, cross it over your left all the way. It's as if you're doing a cow face, sitting on the ground with your legs crossed, stacked over one another. And lift your knees up and lift your head up. And take hold of the top of your feet. If you can't do that, then ankles. And just gently draw the knees slightly forward, heels into your bottom, then lower your head down. And let yourself breathe here. Inhaling, feeling into the outer hips. And breathe out. Presence doesn't have to also just be the breath. You could use the sensations of the body to feel it. Let's place the feet back down. Let's uncross the legs and cross the left over the right. Lift your head up, lift your knees up, take hold of the tops of those feet. Bring your chest slightly towards your knees and then slowly lower your head to the ground. Knees drop. Push forward as you draw your heels in towards you. And breathe into those areas of sensation. We need these stretches. They're absolutely necessary. To be slow and take the time to really take care of yourself. And then slowly, then lower the feet down, uncross those legs. Give yourself a hug. Little rocks from side to side to loosen up that spine. And then place the feet flat on the ground, knees pointing up. Right ankle on your left thigh. So you're going to listen closely. This is unusual. In a moment, well, just follow me. Take your hands behind, thread them through your legs, grabbing hold of that back of that leg, or if you can, hold on to that left shin. And then from here, you're going to release the hands from the shin and keep the right ankle on the left thigh and gently let the knees drop all the way, everything drop to the left until that right foot flattens down. So you might want to look at me, then try it. And then lower your left foot down, left leg, it's bent. And take your left hand and hold on to that right ankle. Okay? Right knee pushes away. Take your right thumb, push it into that right hip, the crease of that right hip, and press that as well. Wedge it in and push that hip. And a little twist here, so you're lifting and as if you're doing that spinal twist. You don't have to look to the right. You could look. I would just suggest you looking upwards and breathing in. This one, you could feel it. It's intense. And notice if your mind wanders off in these passive poses, or you're a person that has to always be active, always moving. And then let's slowly lift ourselves back up. Uncross that right leg, take it off from the thigh. Just place it next to the left. Notice a difference between the legs. And now left ankle on right thigh. Take your hands behind that right thigh, or the shin. If you could get the shin, that's great. Pick your head up and then lower it down. Left knee pushes forward as you draw that right knee in. And then from here, just release the hands. That's all you're doing, is taking the hands from, unthread them. And then take your as is legs to the right until finally that left foot touches down. Take that right and drop your right knee down, maybe push it back a little bit. And then grab hold of the ankle of that left foot with that right hand. Left thumb, place it inside that left hip crease. Take a deep breath in and gently push it forward, down. And then you're doing a little twist here with your upper body. Try getting that left shoulder on the ground and breathe in. This one I thought was pretty neat. We've done this before, but not with the thumb. So this is my side that is very, very tender. So we each have sides that are a little bit more tender. Let's lift back up and take that left ankle off of that right thigh. Place the feet flat on the ground and just stretch the arms back behind you. Arch the back. And then stretch the legs. You're going to feel like a different person after this. And then gently, let's come all the way up to sitting. Actually, let's come around onto your hands and knees. Before we do some sitting stretches, I want us to do is come onto our hands and knees and press back into child's pose. Do a little counter stretches. So stretching through those arms, feeling into those areas we just stretched, the outer hips, that band, IT band, on the outer edges of those legs. And then come up to all fours, take an inhale. Exhale, press up into downward facing dog. Taking a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. And then walk your hands a little bit closer in towards you, just a little bit. And then bend your right knee, take your right hand off the ground and cross it under your left arm and grab hold of that outer edge of your left leg. Maybe it's the ankle. Maybe it's the calf. And bend your right knee, keep your left leg straight, and turn and twist looking underneath your left arm. There's a whole sequence of these stretches, so we will only get to a portion of them. Let's bring the right hand back next to your left. Press both, stretch through those legs into that downward facing dog. And then bend your left knee, take your left hand,
thread it underneath your right arm, grab hold of the outer edge of your right ankle or calf, and bend your left knee and stretch through that right leg. Looking underneath your right arm, a little twist here. But I will sprinkle them in over the course of the next few weeks. And then bring your left hand back next to your right. Take a deep breath in downward facing dog. Stretching. And then walking your feet to the middle of the mat. Coming into a forward bend, opposite hand, opposite elbow. And then from here, release the hands to the ground, bring the feet closer together, cross your right leg in front of the left. So both feet are side by side, outer edges are put together. And then let's bend the knees, fingertips on the ground or on blocks, and gently start to straighten those legs. Bringing your forehead towards your shins and breathe gently in and out. And then from here, take your right leg, cross it back, place it next to your left, so cross it over. Come back to your regular forward bend. And then to this time, take your left leg and cross it over your right. Outer edges of the feet are right next to each other. Bending the knees, take an inhale, and then exhale, fold over. And then uncross your left leg. If you've kind of changed your position as I have, point the toes to the front of the mat, step back, downward facing dog. And then lower the knees to the ground. So come back, come on into your cross-legged seat with your left leg in front of your right. You could slide the feet a little bit so they're underneath the knees or about there. Shins in front of shins. Let's take a pause here. Hands on the knees, take an inhale. And an exhale. And then from here, take your right hand outside your right hip, not too far, with the elbow bent, and take your left hand as if you're trying to reach for something on a diagonal. You're going to keep reaching, reaching, reaching. Drop your head. Using that right hand as a little bit of leverage, so it's a little bit of a twist here. Now, just stay where you are. Just take your left hand, thumb back inside your hip crease, left hip crease. Press that hip crease down and forward. And then twist a little bit more using that right hand to help create that twist. And then left arm reaches back again, as if you're trying to grab hold of that thing. And then slowly lift up, still in this shape. And then take your left hand outside your left hip. We've done this many times, either maybe even on the elbow, forearm. Reach that right arm up to the sky and stretch over to the left. So we're
creating new habits. Our bodies rarely go into these shapes in our everyday life. Let's come back up. And then let's change the cross. Right leg in front of the left. Left hand outside of your left hip. Press it down and then reach that right arm on a diagonal in line with your left knee. Reaching. Pressing your right sit bone to the ground. A little twist here. So our bodies don't do this on a regular basis, so we have to make it happen. Or else a lot of these fibers in our bodies get bunched up and stiff. Now, keep everything as is. Just lift your right hand up. Place your right thumb inside that hip crease, right hip crease. Press it down and forward. You might even feel your thumb. My thumb is not used to doing this. And then a little twist as you press your right sit bone to the ground. And then reach that right arm. And then slowly lift yourself back up to sitting. And then take your right hand outside of your right hip, as far away, and then take an inhale, left arm reaches, and stretch over to the right. Let that right elbow soften down. So as I was watching the person teach this class, he was talking about the sides of our bodies, how because we don't do these stretches often at all, they do get bunched up and they create lots of issues over time. And then let's come up nice and tall. Let's take the hands on the knees. Take a pause here. Feeling into the body. And then easing yourself onto your backs. Hugging your knees into your chest. And letting the legs prepare for your Shavasana. We've done a lot of twists, so unless you're in the mood for a spinal twist, you could do so. Otherwise, follow me right into your Shavasana. Let the body get really heavy. Feel the lightness, actually, of the body. And if you're ready, or you want to stay longer, feel free. Otherwise, follow me up. Coming into your Sukhasana, your seated pose. And by sitting, take another moment and feel into the release that we just devoted this class to releasing the areas of your body that really barely ever get this attention, ever. We do a lot in yoga, we discreetly stretch them, but when we do a full class, you could feel the difference. It's like, it's so important that we take care of ourselves. but we do things differently. We change things up. So our bodies stay supple throughout your life, not just now, but as we age. I hope you enjoyed this class. This is Rebecca Jane from yogawithrebeccajane.com. Namaste.